John, is that microphone turned on? Oh, it's picking it up. It's picking it up. Hey.
Cool. All right. Let's get that one over here.
Let's get that one over here and get this one here. Let's get this one here.
Oh, we have 6 people watching.
Already? That's great. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys, if you can hear us.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not going to get so slow.
Scoot the thing over.
Oh, we'll have to scoot
Bring
it. I don't want to move it.
Do it slowly. Oh, slight on carefully.
Okay. Here we go. We're good. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
Thank you for.
Yep, I hear volume.
Oh, I don't have volume.
Okay. So, Joseph, if you want to introduce our topic?
Okay, so as I announced earlier today on Twitter, at Red Swordsman with hashtag SnapCouch, which you can send your questions to during this podcast, we're going to be talking about my book series. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this on the camera because it's kind of pulled back, but oh yes, Tom here has a very helpful.
The audio's a bit bad. Well, you kid. Say nothing.
There you go. Let's bring it close to the
That's as close as it's going to get.
Yeah.
It
Sorry,
says
guys.
it's picking up pretty good on the computer.
Yeah, but the mic quality, old black and white cartoons that
Okay. Alright,
All right. So, as I said this week, we have a very special guest with us. This is our good friend Tom Barnsley. He flew all the way out from Australia for the wedding, and we decided we'd have him here as a guest star. So, welcome aboard, Tom. Yeah. Happy to be here. Thank you. We have our good friend Mr. Chris Critic. Hi. I am Not Your Average Joe. This is my lovely fiance and soon-to-be wife, Rebecca. And then we got, what is it, John 99 bottles of stupid face. You don't care.
One of those platforms.
One of those. Just pick one. We'll figure that out later. But today we're going to be talking about the novel that I wrote a couple years ago and released, Dragon Roar, part 1 of the Omega Chronicles, and we'll also be discussing its future and just kind of doing a rundown of the series in general, kind of like we usually do with a lot of other series and stuff. But one of the first things we're going to talk about is earlier today, or was it yesterday, the first American-produced anime, Indigo Ignited, came out from where we live. That's Albuquerque, New Mexico. So we thought we'd talk about it for a little bit. The pilot episode just aired. It's on YouTube. I really recommend going to check it out. It's got some. It looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. It's got voice actors Nathan Sharp and Amanda Lee, both very well-known cover artists for those of you that follow the anime scene. The dialogue, I don't know. Like the dialogue was a little bit. The dialogue was a little cheesy, but then again, that's a lot of anime. I don't know what you guys thought.
I'm pretty excited about it. What did you guys think about the pilot episode so far?
I loved it when grape juice came out of that one guy.
Yeah, totally.
That was lots of blood.
The grape juice was very pulpy grape juice.
Yeah. Bernie says he's watching. Sorry, yeah, I really wish you could have made it, man, but.
And they want you to sing "You're Welcome."
I'm not doing it. My entire audience for the last 2 weeks has been trying to get me to watch Moana. I'm just like, don't do it.
Forsen, you're here with him.
I believe it, but every time people keep telling me that I need to watch it, I want to watch it less.
It's so contrary.
What if I just come to your house and sneak it through your door and it's there, and you have no choice? I would have a choice. I could return it, like those comics you owe me. That's not good. That's what I thought. Okay.
Well, I think, I don't know, it was a lot more, I mean, I feel like from the promotions they've done and some of the artwork that I've seen released prior to the pilot episode,
You're friends with the producer, right? Or
not the producer,
the
I'm friends with a couple of artists.
Okay.
I go to the church.
Yeah. Samuel is my friend Alyssa's fiance, and Vicky is a family friend. So.
Darshel Block has no relation.
But no, anyway, what I was gonna say is like, I had a feeling it was gonna be intense because of some of the promotional things they've done and the voice clips that I've heard, but it definitely still surprised me with how brutal it was. Just right from the beginning. I'm very
I'm
intrigued.
level Optimus Brotherhood almost level of not level of creepy, but like level of violence.
Yeah. I'm very intrigued. I was told when it first opened, I was surprised by that little cheesy romantic scene, but then all of immediately after that was a little.
Okay. I like the villain that was
just kept changing his mask up. That was weird.
Well, then the villain section, I feel like.
The person that draws it was Captain One Punch Man. The anime for the manga. And he likes drawing people really weirdly. Like, if you ever seen One Punch Man, Psycho. Yeah. I was like, they have like a weird jacked up face. Yeah.
That's
Our first thought was Shalal and Urza.
Yeah. It's like,
But, yeah, I didn't think that character was, well, we don't know.
I just say for first time voice actors, they actually did a pretty good.
They're not first time voice actors.
Isn't that the first time?
No.
Isn't that the first time they starred voice actors?
No. Luck and Logic for Name Wants to Battle, and there have been several for Amanda Lee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know Amanda Lee's done. We talked about that a while back.
Yo, man.
Okay,
Talking about things you don't know.
That's why I have you. You're my fact checker.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our kind of little introduction. If you guys haven't seen the
Criticize.
trailer or the pilot episode,
Please check it out after.
I'm so excited.
Just-
It looks pretty interesting. Let us know what you guys think. And yeah.
And like, if it does end up becoming a regular anime that's produced weekly, we'll definitely be doing a weekly pop-up.
It would be great, and if you guys like it, contact the makers. They have a website. I'm sure they'd love to hear feedback and just see that people are they're building a fan base. Because it's a small project right now, but it's building momentum, and I'm really happy for them. So yeah, go ahead and check them out.
All right. John, you're in charge of our schedule today. What was our first discussion point for?
How do we feel about Mataris being an anti-hero?
Okay.
Like,
I'll go last.
I feel like all of you guys know the Mataris.
But let's still for some of the people that don't.
Yeah.
Well, even if they haven't read this, they must have read the rest one. They know what kind of person.
Yeah, but let's actually use words to describe an anti-hero.
For any new person who's tuning in hasn't necessarily read all of your work. So how would you describe Pharratz, and then we can go into discussing his character.
He's a jerk who really needs to be kept in check.
Oh, apparently Gamer Inspector and Warlord Bruni are asking what anime. He said Indigo Ignited.
Indigo Ignited.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
But yeah.
So one of the things, so kind of the point of Mataris, like, he's incredibly overpowered, but he has so many mental defects that's kind of his, that's kind of what keeps him in check is the point. It's like he's not capable of using his abilities to their full extent because of that.
I feel like he's not the traditional anti-hero in that most of the time we have an anti-hero, there's 2 or 3 things that make them like, really bad at first, but then they kind of start changing almost immediately from the beginning. So you kind of be like, okay, I can kind of see how it would be possible for me to root for this person, maybe not. But then the Pharratz, he just continues to get worse and worse. It seems like. And you get to know, like at first you get to know him, you're like, okay, it's a troubled individual. And he's doing more things, and you're like, oh my gosh. Like, is he not, like, how is he not the villain of this story? It's pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have your other characters that kind of balance it out.
Yeah, we'll get to those later on. Yeah. What did you? I don't know. Go anything.
So I really like anti-heroes, but like also that they're like the most human out of all like heroes. Like everybody, like a lot of generic heroes are like, oh, I can't kill, blah blah blah. But the truth is, if most people had if a lot of people had powers, they would kill people because it's kind of impossible to keep yourself from harming people, protect people. Like, for instance, like cops. Sometimes they have to pull the trigger, and that's probably like the closest thing that we can get to having heroes is like military and
What was it like the guy that was based on American Sniper? Like when he talked about how he had to shoot some people and he really didn't want to, but in the end he pulled the trigger anyway because he was like they were already dead and my job was to save the people if they would have ended up taking one. Yeah. But Mataris obviously doesn't come from that standpoint. He just wants to kill.
See, I think the difficult thing about Mataris is most people that we can relate to would struggle with that decision. Mataris, he's very cold and calculated, and he doesn't allow himself to feel remorse when he makes this decision.
So, also another thing with like anti-heroes, I just watched a show with an anti-hero, and I'll explain it later on today. but he kills people, and he's like, I don't care that I'm becoming a bad person because I'm doing it for the greater good. And sometimes it's like they have good motives behind it, but they're going about it the wrong way.
Kind of like the times back in the background almost.
Well, yeah.
But he definitely goes off the deep end.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's definitely.
I usually like your takes on villains. You know, like
Yeah.
I know you haven't.
You've read all this, right?
Yeah, once. It's been a while. But no, what I was gonna say is Matar's kind of like as an example. He reminds me of. He's kind of like a combination of the Punisher and the Red Hood in some ways. The Punisher has also got.
I don't know either of these villains, by the way.
I'd say full
They're both cool.
Okay. And the Punisher's got mental issues as well, but he does it because he not only does he believe what he's doing is right, he does it because he likes to do it. He thinks it's the best way to do it. And Red Hood's the same way. They don't mind killing people. They see it as like the only way of getting the job done. And I just see a lot of similarities with him.
For Matar's, it's a little similar, but he doesn't necessarily. I don't know. I can't quite remember if he says this in this one, but in the rewrite, it'll cover. In the rewrite that I'm doing, there will be a conversation where they're like, why can't you spare someone? It's like, sure, there's other ways to do it. He says, sure, there's other ways to do it. I know this isn't the only way to do it, but I believe it's the most effective way to do it.
Yeah, that's how the Punisher.
Okay, yeah. Tom, your take.
Yeah. Well, I actually quite liked what Chris said about the Red Hood because primarily because the thing that I see the way that Matthias differs from being a villain and being an anti-hero instead, I see is that he's very demonstrably damaged by his past and his amnesia. So that's at least when I read it. That's kind of my thing. So while he's doing all these bad things, he has had a really bad thing done to himself, and it makes it sort of justified. And that's why I like the parallel.
You're supposed to question like what made him scary.
Yeah, well
that's one of the things like he kind of covers it with when he meets his brothers. They kind of explain what happened to him. They said that he was in a fight and he was moved pretty bad. That's how he ended up with a scar on his head and why he has memory impairment. In the rewrite, one of the things that will change is that eventually they will go more into details to why he was fighting and because they mentioned that he was fighting and then he kind of tries to press them about why and they don't tell him. In the rewrite, there's going to be more, Othniel and Paul are going to appear a couple more times, and towards the end, you will find out why Matthias was fighting and like what was on the line and why he decided. And like you find that he actually had an idea of what was about to happen, and as he was in the past, he decided that he would give up what he had. Yeah. So like they allude to this several times, and again what's one of the things going to happen in the rewrite is there's going to be a lot more exposition on the parts and like all the characters really, but like he was a very very different person from
it almost has like a tragic element to his character, which I think is
that was the idea.
That's
like, his own brothers didn't recognize him because of how different he was.
Yeah, and like I just wanted to sort of describe that's going to screw up a person. That happens to him, and that might be some justification for why he acts the way it is, and maybe it's still not a good thing, but it's an understandable thing, which is the hero part of it.
Exactly. Like Matthias is very difficult to empathize with, but that's one of the points that I want my audience to feel empathize with him. It's like he's lost so much, he wants other people to lose too. It's kind of what comes out to.
Is it possible for someone that's far gone to have some form of redemption?
I have a good analogy for how an anti-hero is.
Yes.
Okay, so there are 300 people, 200 people on one boat, 100 people on the other. The boats have holes in them, and those ships are going to sink. You have enough time to save one of them with one being choose.
The anti-hero will choose the 200 people.
Okay, the 100 people capture you and will say, I will kill you unless you fix our boat.
Then the anti-hero kills them and saves the 200 people.
Exactly. That's when anti-hero.
That's really cool.
That was really good. How did you come up with that? How did you come
I
up
didn't come up with that from jail.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, this is the perfect time to bring it up.
What you guys were saying about the contrast between the cars before and after his injury, I know we talked about Death Note briefly in a very horrible podcast.
I remember better
Oh,
one.
what?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good, I'm glad. But it kind of
We stayed on
reminds me.
schedule for that one.
It kind of reminds me. I guess I've gotten them mixed up. That the Full Metal Alchemist.
That was the one
that
that,
was that. Anyway, no, I think it reminds me in a way of Light Yagami when he doesn't remember the Death Note. Because all of a sudden you see this person we've not seen before. He's like genuinely kind and he's genuinely concerned for people and he really wants to know like who's doing these bad things and he's helping in the investigation and he starts to wonder like would I do something like this? And he starts like being really worried and you see all of these human emotions that you had not seen this from him before. But the moment he touches that Death Note, you're like kind of flipped back to.
Except for Mataris, it's kind of reversed.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah.
That's the kind of contrast that that's what it reminds me of. Yeah. You guys mentioned that.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah.
So I think we thoroughly.
Yeah.
But that was actually like a really good
That was a
conversation.
really good
Yeah.
conversation.
I'm glad I thought of that. Okay. So let's talk about the classes of dragons.
The classes of dragons. Well, there's 35, technically 36 of those. Are we covering all of them?
I mean,
Why don't we start by covering the classes that each of your characters has?
You might have to remind me.
I thought.
Well, his character is a dragon.
Yeah.
His character is a dragon in the book. So, like, he's just mentioned briefly, like, once somewhere in here. I can't even remember where I put it. Yes.
That's awesome.
He's not one of the. So one of the things. So like the leadership system changes a bit in the rewrite. He's not one of the leaders, but he's still going to show up and he's still going to be a badass.
Question: is it actually called the Badass Tribe?
No,
That's awesome.
No, you know the class system that Light Rush belongs to, the Delta class. It's dragon.
Oh yeah, you're the king of the Deltas. That's right.
Yeah, that's what it was. So we'll start out with
Doesn't that mean that you have to kill him to get the gem?
No.
As long as he dies in a cool way, I can buy that.
You survive a Chuck Norris friend. You don't survive the second one.
No, yeah, his character was a gravity dragon. That's what it was. Yeah. And his name was literally Gargel Blanc. Yeah. I don't even remember. Yes. You gotta make sure you got the phlegm in there. See, phlegm. Ahmed. He's a terrorist.
Oh no. I love those videos. They're so horrible.
What kind of dragon was my dragon? Your dragon. Let's see.
I don't remember.
Let's see. I remember Jacob Collins had this really cool combination of dragons that made he scares people because they think he has black blood, but he can manipulate.
Wow, Game Inspector, you are a busy person.
What did Game Inspector do?
And yes, I have a Pokemon Evil team with over 160 members.
Nice.
I respect that.
Respect. We'll take a moment to respect that. So, let's see. Actually, we can take this opportunity to figure out how I determine what kind of dragon humans we're going to get. So, Chris, tell me your favorite color.
Crimson Red.
Crimson Red. Okay. You have the choice.
Man, you're just bloody hell today, aren't you?
I guess so.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Okay, so let's see. You have the option between super strength or the creation and manipulation of rubies or any red gem, like a garnet or whatever.
I'll be strength.
Super strength, okay. Then let's find your character summary. Let's see, we find ourselves in the Epsilon class, which is the 5th of the classes of the dragons. Strength. Summary reads, iridescent red scales colored.
This is going to become Dungeons and Dragons.
Iridescent scales colored red mark this as a dragon to be reckoned with. While all Epsilon dragons glow with raw power, this species embodies power itself. Angry newborns have been known to lash out and splinter boulders with one swipe of their tails. They've been known to assist in constructing fortresses and towers due to their ability to lend their great strength. But because they are known for their fighting prowess, their most common form of assistance to mankind has been on the battlefield. Legend tells of an Epsilon strength dragon that shattered a mountain to bury his enemy's army.
Movement dragon.
Uber Dragon.
Uber, totally fine with that.
You know, he just picks the passengers, he goes drops them off.
Well, that would be like a portal dragon.
Oh, that's just
No, but yeah, Uber's struggling.
He's so actually strong and good.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. There technically is an Uber Dragon because there's teleportation dragons.
Okay.
It's like, I need to get here. Pump a fire, do you have a portal? It's like, alright, step through that.
It says Uber.
Oh my goodness. I have
Stay
a
swimming.
I named my parakeet after my dragon.
That's right, you mean,
My parakeet, Elsa died, but I have Kesha. Kesha is
You
the
named
mom.
him Elsa?
no, there was a girl and there was a boy.
I had her name was Elsa. It was a weird time for me. But
So you're like
Kesha,
Joseph, and you
Kesha
like
might be
Francis.
having children soon.
I got her a couple of parakeets for her birthday a couple years back. She named the green one Kesha after her green dragon in the book series. Kesha is a plant dragon variety, which reads as an uncommon alpha dragon, but not necessarily rare. It's a mint green dragon, plant dragon. Without these flying lizards, Altier's crops would barely be half as plentiful as it is today. Instead of choosing to scorch plants, unless in the interests of relatively harmless practical jokes, they can revitalize them and cause them to grow more quickly and with greater abundance than nature would naturally allow.
I feel like hunters would naturally go and hunt those dragons. You've got free spice food, you know? You've got tasty meat as
You don't even need spice.
Just murdering sentient beings.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Remember you said we need meat.
You hate when you know.
Oh my goodness.
We have.
Oh my
That's how
god.
I be
I kind of love it because it gives me like the C.S. Lewis vibe with the trees coming to life and taking part in the battle, you know.
I don't think tree ants are that good either.
No, ants are Tolkien. C.S. Lewis has the trees come to life.
Oh,
Yeah, like,
sorry,
ants
yeah.
are like
I mean,
tentacles,
Tolkien
like,
doesn't too,
yeah.
yes, but that's different. This is like, those trees are sentient beings. This is like, this is Aslan making the trees go wild.
But we don't know the ants are cooler and everything. At least I think so. Oh, the ants are.
Oh,
Yes.
oh my gosh, reading that part was painful though. Like,
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
just
watching
all the
you
poetry.
think it's bad watching it, but reading it, it's like,
With the conversation.
oh, I'm feeling it with you.
He's just
I'm
reciting
feeling
all the poetry.
Yeah.
Just, like you're falling asleep along with Mary and Pippin. You're like, right, ants.
The moment when they did too good of a job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like, okay, so let's see,
Joseph, you had a psychic dragon.
Psychokinetic Dragon, we all know
Which
who Light
makes-
Rush is.
Because all the more, well, not everyone knows who I am.
Okay.
My dragon's name is
Actually,
Kit.
he appears in the Red Sword of fanfictions.
I think it's Kit.
He does, but not as a dragon.
My dragon's
Yeah,
Kit.
Oh, he does.
He appears as a dragon, because Jaina
Yeah,
Ahsoka
my-
has a dragon companion.
You
He
know
has a
this one.
similar one, it's a fire
I know
dragon.
who you are.
Oh, okay. I'm like, it's
You're like-
pretty obvious.
Well, so,
Wait, who is he? Yeah,
Mattress. I don't call you
he's a
mattress.
mattress.
I was saying this before, like the way I pronounce the books, the characters in the book in my mind is just like so off.
I'm the same way as you.
I kind of prefer that way.
Mattress.
Mattress. No! Oh, man.
You could be
Let's
John.
see, you had, phrasing, John.
Yeah, you're phrasing.
Yeah,
No, I'm not going there.
yeah, please don't. No, you had a sapphire dragon.
Isn't his name Kit?
Yep.
Yeah.
Spelled with two P's, by the way.
Wangfire. Wangfire. And this is my wife, Sapphire Fire.
Sapphire fire.
Sorry.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry.
We like Avatar Last Airbender a little too much. It kind of gets into everything. Oh my goodness. No, like,
My bridesmaids have been sending Avatar memes.
Dude, we have had no last Robin. It's so sad.
oh, our meat maker's not here.
That's okay. To make us post podcast.
Yeah.
God, you thought we came up with that.
Okay, were there any questions about like the podcast?
Well, first, like, are there any differences between Light Rush in your fan fiction and Light Rush in the story?
Okay, so Light Rush in fan fiction, he appeared, in the Sword Art Online one, he appears as a fire dragon. So for starters, and like he's small and he's like not unintelligent, but he can't talk or anything. So in this book series, he's fully sentient. He has second kinetic abilities, which means he has both telepathy and telekinesis. He's Matara's companion. He's the one that keeps him grounded as much as a dragon can, because like something that I always want to stress. While dragons are considered fully sentient beings with souls in my book series, they it's almost time for that.
Okay, I just realized.
They are not humans. So like Lightraj has one of the reasons Mutari kind of just does what he wants in terms of killing people, because Lightraj doesn't see a problem with it. Dragons are different from humans. It's kill or be killed. If someone stands against you, you crush them. It's just kind of how it works in this society.
Joseph, have you released the other fan fiction that Lightraj is going to be appearing in?
I haven't yet, and we'll cover that towards the end of this. I'll be releasing that chapter very soon.
I have a question about the dragon system.
Okay, go for it.
So this is actually when I was describing it to my sister. She brought this up. I just remember it's a kind of bit of chemistry here, but so you said there's acid dragons, right?
Yes.
Does that mean there are base dragons and that there are therefore salt dragons?
There used to be now.
Salt dragon?
Salty?
Well, there's already
That's
so
Do they
technically yes.
This is what happens every time I try to come up with a new type of dragon.
Technically yes. There's
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So the gamma class is divided into two subspecies. There's the gems and there's the metals. So gems and crystals and all that. Salt is a crystal. So yes, there is salt dragon.
Oh, that's good.
They hate you.
My sister will be saying that.
You battle it.
They do not like you. There's only one vote in here.
He volunteered for it this time, guys. I'm not doing it.
No, they
Well,
have
to
to
be
vote.
fair, we didn't know how many people were going to tune in today since it's in the middle of the work week.
Yeah.
So we did decide based on still
Okay,
wanting
so
to
Joe,
do it.
there
It's
is.
up to you.
In the audience was that.
How long can you hold your breath?
Okay, so Joe, they're holding you hostage, pretty much. You're like, they will keep on voting you until you watch them on.
You bastards.
Boy, hey,
That's PG-13 language, so it's not rated R language.
When you see the full text, and you're like language, and then you just
language.
There's a shirt of Chris Evans going, I want you to watch your language.
that's perfect.
That could be true.
Am I the only one that's going to fault the fact that Kat said language? Sorry.
Right,
It just slipped out.
Time, let's move
It's
the-
time.
Okay, so we have 2 for Joe and 1 for Tom.
Ooh, fuck.
I veto you guys, and Tom's going to do it.
Can I put it in the vote?
Yeah, you can put them in a vote, dude. Yeah, no.
I'm gonna wait. Is it on
I'm
Twitter?
gonna put them, yeah, no, don't on Twitter, Tom. I'm gonna say, Tom.
That is
Sounded like something unexcited.
Oh, the other one. I was going to say, I didn't remember.
How do I vote on YouTube?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, I'm on the live chat.
Oh, I'm looking at myself.
Yeah, dude, and I'm always
I
like
was
this.
So just
I
do I
was
just
writing
comment?
my bridal
Yeah.
shower thank you note.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Where's the live
I
chat?
ruined everything I
Oh, wait, never
touched.
mind.
There you go.
Okay,
So-
are we ready?
What's the voting so far, John?
So 2 for Tom, 2 for Joe.
Okay, we need a tiebreaker vote.
Tiebreaker, Chris. The beard or the not beard?
You can't hold your breath.
Beard or not
That's
beard?
Do we want
That is
boogies
the question.
in the thing? Oh wait, no, that's
That's Josh.
That's what's John.
Josh rules and has not
Can I vote for both of them just to make it even more like?
I have a second vote.
I might have a pan.
No,
No,
we're not doing 2 of these.
Wait, what are the votes? Is it still 2-2?
I think everyone's waiting on you for the tiebreaker. You want to turn down the volume on
I'm
that?
watching. Come on, Chris.
Someone voted again for Joe.
That gamer inspector had already voted.
All right, I voted for Tom.
Tom said it.
I hope
Someone else has voted for you though, so it's still tied.
No, he already
gamer inspector
voted.
had already voted.
Who's timing it?
I'll get the timer.
Sorry, I hope you
Just
don't mind.
that.
Aaron? Wait, Joseph's doing it or not?
You're like, this is gonna be kind of enjoyable. You're gonna go home and you're gonna be like, what did you guys do in America? I drowned myself
On YouTube.
on YouTube for money. Or Joseph's money. I didn't get that.
Yeah, he's nice. He's not getting paid for this.
None of us are getting paid.
Oh, he didn't agree.
Young the author. Very good point.
He's only here the one time. You guys can vote me any other time.
Gosh, that's such a long neck. I'm like a giraffe.
Okay.
So try and make it much.
Okay. Yeah. That's okay.
All right, Jonathan, are you ready?
What? Wait, which one are we doing?
Oh yeah. I sure forgot to get
That's
a
okay, we're gonna
thing.
do that
Okay,
this time.
whatever. I am doing take 0.
Fate Zero.
Fate Zero.
Okay.
Fate Zero, made by Unspokeable. That's good sub, good dub. You should watch.
All right.
You can watch Fate in either Fate Stay Night or Fate Zero first. Does not matter. It's irrelevant.
All right. So we're
Like
beginning.
Chris in this podcast.
Yes.
Starting in 3,
I don't deny that.
2, 1, go.
Okay, Fate Zero. It is about somebody trying to find a cup. What cup might you ask? A cup. And then turns out King Arthur is a female. What happened there? None may know. And then one guy's like, hey, I'm gonna date my master's wife. Well, okay. And then, there's the King of Iskandar, and you're like, who the heck is he? And if you know your history, you know who he is. Then there's some other people. Berserker is pretty cool and black. What else is there? There's some red stuff and some blood and some people turning into cups and people throwing up cups and cups up the butt. Then you got yourself some wimps and some psychos and some anti-heroes. And then you're like, ooh, I get to grant a wish? No, you get to murder everyone. Congratulations, you killed everyone. Merry Christmas. And then, you're like, oh, there's Ilya. Life is happy. No, it's not happy because she's a slave.
How long?
Look at this. We have a new record. We have a new record for the show. You have 59.5 close. He beat Josh's record of 57 seconds.
Yeah.
We have a record holder.
59 seconds and 57
Josh the
milliseconds.
Poser is dead.
Hashtag Josh.
What was that about cups up the butt?
I'm really doing it.
That's where he started to lose it.
Yeah.
John,
He was
what you
going
want to do, you need to make a living as the announcer of Pro Bending.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do.
Jumped up like
Looks like Mullen did a come up the butt there.
It's a new record. 2 point conversion. No, good. Oh my goodness. That was very well done. Oh wait, this one's mine. This one's mine. This one's mine. There we go.
That one's the Beatles. Yes.
Well, now I really wish Last Robin would have seen this because you would have been like,
I'm sure.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'll put up a post afterwards on this. Like, fast forward to this for our new record in terms of rep bowling. I'll make it sound better than that. That was very well done. That was good.
oh, so Gamer Inspector is challenging. He says, now I will send you a video of me doing a John Explains where I break the record.
Challenge accepted.
I miss you guys. My last one.
Oh yeah, this is what.
We probably should have announced that at the end.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. So now we're halfway through. Woo!
Let's see. Let's see. Was there anything else that anybody had any questions about the class of the dragon and stuff?
It's actually pretty straightforward, and if you do have questions, you can refer to
Yeah, guys, if you got questions about the dragon class system or whatever, send them to #SnapACouch.
And I have a challenge for you too. If you can read through all the classes and come up with something that Joseph cannot argue that he's created already, then I would love to see that because every time I try to come up with my own type of dragon, Joseph's like, oh, well, there's really a dragon that does that because it falls under this class, and this is why. And I'm like, oh, I can't come up with anything original because like he's covered so much. So like, if you guys can read through that and then come up with something that he hasn't thought of, and like,
I welcome it.
he will probably argue, even if you think that you came up with one, he'll probably argue that you already made it, but we'll see. I'm curious, and I want to hear like people's ideas.
So remember, #SnapACouch at Red Swordsman so I can see it.
Yeah, #SnapACouch. You may be wondering, how do we come up with #SnapACouch?
Robin did it.
No, it's something that we said.
That was a long time.
Yeah,
It was the second week, and we thought that he had said that we had snapped the couch.
You saying, oh, snap a couch.
This was in the like one.
Did you watch? Yeah, that's where it started. #SnapACouch. Yeah. Yeah, because
No one else has used it.
no one has it. Yeah, it's like snap a couch.
Oh,
Even though we're not on the couch yet.
sorry.
We'll cover that. We'll cover that at the point of the end.
Okay, so why is the reboot happening?
Why is the reboot happening? So I've talked about this a little bit, and for those of you that have read both this and the Red Swordsman Shattered Fragment and Legacy of Korra, you know that I can do way better than I have done with this. And she's the new editor, actually. she's going to go with artist and editor this time around, and she is a very hard person to get past in terms of editing. But that's okay though. I need that. But if I don't have that, I'm not going to become a better writer. So one of the things that was brought up to my attention very quickly, and even I could see it on my own, was that character development didn't happen enough. Like, just I don't really know how else to put that, or even how to put more of an exposition on that. I didn't there was backstories for them, but a backstory in and of itself is not enough to create a relatable character.
So what you're saying is they kind of stayed the same throughout the story, and they didn't transform as much as you like them to?
Mataris definitely transformed throughout the course of this book, but the other ones didn't change as much as I would have liked. It's kind of what it is.
You gotten better at your character.
And that grammar.
Yeah, that's it.
And there's a little less eyebrow raising.
Yeah, it's always, when in doubt,
Every 5 sentences, he raises his eyebrow.
he raised his eyebrow.
Sometimes
He
every
raised his crisp with his eyebrow.
Oh, this is what I was saying before, actually, before the podcast. That just like, I do a little bit of writing as well, and I've just noticed that with us, people who are like, themselves amateur writers, and people just end up repeating the same word or phrase or little action.
Yeah, it's a very hard thing to break.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
I think everybody does that.
I've-
Oh, this sounds good.
I ended up, like, for me personally, I ended up having to ban myself from the word slightly.
Yeah.
It's just every verb followed by slightly.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
Like, oh, slightly.
Because it just
Slightly to the left, slightly to the right.
Slightly ticked off.
yeah, but it just ends up reading like this really like.
Yeah, you have to expand your vocabulary.
And then what ends up happening is like the person will read.
Anybody would need
You want some really good things?
to help edit.
A sword.
The source.
Yep.
Which
Look
is
up
wonderful
synonyms of the word
because
and you're like,
we have
boom, got it.
they have it
That's
on the
very
internet now. You don't have to worry about carrying it around.
Something a challenge one of my year 10 teachers challenged us to do if we were going to be writing creatively was every time you write a chapter or every time you sit down to write like what's there, whatever, flop open to 5 random pages in the dictionary and use 5 random words out of that. And try and incorporate it into your.
And however, that man did not pick up a single grammatical error.
That was not Mr. Matson.
I thought he was your 10th grade teacher.
That was my 9th grade. He was my 9th grade teacher. No, you're not. Miss Jenkins was my.
Yeah.
That's actually where we met, right?
Yeah.
We met. Yep.
So something like with the vocabulary, I have a friend who knows the author Beautiful Anaya, who wrote Left Looking On and a few other things. It's popular around here. I don't know if it's popular outside of very not a huge fan, but he had a really interesting way of handling the word usage and diction. So this friend, she's a character. She has no filter, and she says just everything that comes to her mind. And when he met her, he said, you need to expand your vocabulary a little bit.
Yo tengo muchos anos.
He always carried a little pouch with him with words and definitions that are not commonly used in our vernacular. And every time he saw her, he'd have her pull out a slip of paper from that pouch, and he said, you learn that word, and I want you to use it every day this week, and then come back and tell me, what you think that word means in the bigger
I
context.
see your question, Will, and we'll get to it later.
And so I thought that was kind of a cool
That's
thing.
a very
And I think if you just I've thought about doing it myself, finding a word that I don't know and trying to find a situation in which I can use that.
Use
Because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like our language is kind of deteriorating.
Well, yeah, you
especially
read Shakespeare and stuff. It's like that was for dumb people back in the day. That was meant for the unwashed masses, the uneducated swine. And it's like, why do we have a hard time understanding
we
this?
dumb down things, and we have such it's sad because you get so much less understanding out of something that you feel a lot. I'm talking about this, and I'm not thinking about it. Go ahead.
Okay, so pretty much like Shakespeare, Dr. Garrett used to come and say about, I'm going to read half of it, I know the whole thing. It's like, it's really pretty. And then if you translate, that modern day language, it's like, you're a handsome dude, no homo.
Yeah, because we don't. I don't know. Language can be a beautiful thing, and I think that is what people who read about that's the difference between reading a book and binge watching Netflix. Like you get a deeper understanding and connection with the characters.
I'm a buff.
Okay,
I hate books.
So in the Red Swordsman fanfiction, the TARDIS has an older speech pattern, and it kind of annoys a lot of people because he talks a little more flowery than most people do. Because a lot of people just kind of talk like, "Hey, yo, what's up?"
You also want consistency dialogue.
Okay, yeah. Well, but he kind of as it goes on, he kind of realizes this annoys people, and this just him being a jerk. He's just like, "Oh, this is fun. I'm gonna annoy people with this." But that's kind of
we all know somebody like that.
Oh yes, no, I have an appreciation. I have an appreciation for older speech patterns, so I kind of wanted to incorporate that. And when I try to use it, it annoys some people. I'm just like, well, older's better.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
I mean, if there is a
reason that you are doing it, then you go for it because that is your decision as the author. You have to have a good reason. You can't just incorporate something and not have.
So in the rewrite, I'm going to try and have everyone in the top. It's going to be definitely a challenge because common folk would talk different than those of nobility. Yeah.
This is reminding me of Pathfinder again.
Oh,
we're gonna have to talk about that car again. I keep relating everything to this.
Also, another good thing to help further this, everybody's doing reboots these days, so I see no reason.
I'm so excited. Well, I mean, as an artist, when I'm unhappy with something, it's sometimes hard for me to return to it. I think that the best artists can take something that they're not completely satisfied with and make it better, and make it into something that they think is more their potential. And I think that's really cool. I wish I had the motivation to do that in my work more often. And I admire the drive you have to do your stuff. So, do we have any other topics coming up?
Let's light novel.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Well, I asked you guys, but you didn't go with anything else.
That's one of the new. So we can talk about some of the changes, more of the changes that are going to be happening.
We'll start with energy. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to, so I have the Sword Art Online novels. We've seen this, and one of the things I like is that during certain scenes there will be an illustration inserted in black and white in the pages, and it kind of helps give a little bit of context to the scene. So it helps you picture it a little bit easier. I really like that aesthetic. So for the reboot, we're going to be doing a little bit like a light novel format in the sense that there's going to be about 5 or 6 images dispersed throughout the novel to help illustrate very important scenes.
I like that. I'm a very visual person, so I'll definitely get something like that.
Yeah, you read through my comic books like that, and it took me forever to get through this.
Exactly, yeah.
And those comic books are twice as thick as this, and there were 3 of them.
You are a cinematography person. I love videography and editing, and so that's your thing.
I'm a very visual person, so plus that would be more visual people to read books.
Yeah, I think we all have friends who oh, there's no picture.
I am a fan of I feel like when the author puts in a picture, it's kind of like cheating. It's I'm the biggest fan of Stephen R. Lawhead, who can paint this vivid image and not so many it doesn't take forever to describe it. It might be half a page long, but it doesn't feel like half a page. It feels like it immerses you. I feel like when you look at a picture drawing in the book, it doesn't really immerse you, but that's because
I'm not at that skill level yet.
The readers aren't bound to see it the way you see it. Because I know I've read books with a few illustrations in the past where I have been picturing something completely.
Okay, so she told me that when she read Ender's Game before she saw the movie, she was picturing the whole battle simulator and stuff like Galaga.
Well, to be fair, I read it in 2005. And so, when the first time I read it was 2004, 2005.
I'm just making an example.
And so, I never played video games. I never seen any really cool things. And so when I think battle simulation, that's what I was picturing in my head as a kid. And so.
We talk a lot about it. I'm just looking slightly here, and I'm just ha, ha, ha.
Are you capable of speaking without moving your head?
Yes. What I was
No.
saying though is sometimes I'll be reading a book and there's an illustration. I'm like, that is totally not how I pictured it. I don't like that, so I'm gonna stick with my own mental picture. And other times I
really
like it.
Do that.
But yeah, that's the cool thing about literature. You're not bound to the character. Sometimes they cast people that you're in movies. You're I wouldn't have passed that person.
Wait, name an
But-
example of this.
Gosh, see, now I'm on the spot.
But wait, an example of what? About
Like take a movie actor, take an actor that was put in the movie, and you're like, they shouldn't have been playing this role.
Okay. There's several. There's one that like I can obviously say like Jake Lloyd is Anakin as a kid, but I give him a pass though because he's a kid and most kids child acting it's a tough thing. So I give him a pass.
To quote the cinema sense, I don't want to say anything bad about child actors, but I will. They suck.
Yeah, they
That
do.
is not true.
Watch Stranger
But
Things.
I know.
The exceptions are Stranger Things and Stand By Me, but
Okay. So when a
Yes.
child actor is good, they stand out. And you're like, that is a good actor.
Ron Howard is a good actor.
I'm trying to think of a movie like that though.
But anyway, no, for me, like one actor, like I'm a big fan of Watchmen, the graphic novel, and and I thought the movie was great, and I'm a big fan of Matthew Good. I didn't think he was a good choice for the villain. Like,
Actually, I agree with that. I'm on that. That's
Yeah.
actually that's a good
like he was good, but it didn't feel like the character. That
Yeah.
much.
It was just way too villainish for a villain, and this a cool guy.
Yeah.
That's debatably the right thing.
Yeah.
Another anti-hero.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they kind of all that. It's
That's the ending right now.
Everyone's answer.
Shadow the Hedgehog was the first.
Everyone's sick of the Gary Stu and the original
I don't know,
Superman.
Kitty Tail's doing pretty well for himself.
Superman showing dark, like, a lot more of a dark side than he originally did. And,
Well, they're gonna change that in Justice League. So
yeah, he's gonna go back to being Gary Stu. I like that.
Like I was saying, Kitty Tail's doing pretty well for himself.
A book that was made into a movie that was terrible was Paragon.
That was the only movie that man, the director of that movie, that was his one and only.
yes.
He got so much flack for it that
He
he
was
never
a
tried
special
to do.
effects guy.
Dude, Ed Steelers in Downton Abbey. Finally watched it. Yeah. He did such a better
He
job
was
in
good.
Downton Abbey.
He's James.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Oh my
I
god.
just figured that out now, actually.
The actor from Herzog did a good job in Strong Legacy. I would say.
He's
Wait,
a decent actor.
Who's he in
I haven't read the book.
He's the main character. The actor from Herzog.
Oh,
I
Garrett Hedlund.
haven't.
Oh, yeah.
I feel so lame.
What's that?
Everybody has read the Aragon book.
Well,
I
I'll
haven't
give
read
you
it.
that.
It's
We're on
pronounced
Inheritance.
Inheritance
The
Cycle.
Inheritance Cycle. Sorry.
Well, we're going to be married in a couple days, so there will be
He's
no
actually
escaping
gonna start reading the
Ranger's Apprentice.
Oh,
We're doing Ranger's
Ooh.
Apprentice first.
John Flanagan tried to get it started, but they told at the movie series, but they told him not movie series, a TV show, but they told him not.
Wait, Rangers of that sounds very familiar.
I've talked about it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's like his
He's
favorite.
Australian.
Yeah, is that
John Flanagan? No,
No, John Flanagan.
I think you'll agree with me though that HBO series of Aragon would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
They could totally do that.
Without
Without all the nudity and stuff.
If they could,
just
yeah.
the
Well, actually,
spectacle
Aragon didn't
and-
have that.
Well, I know I haven't read the books. What I'm saying is like make it with HBO. They
There
have
were
special
couples,
effects.
like they weren't explicit. It was
I've
implied.
never read the books.
Oh, it was implied. Yeah, but
implied.
you could do implied nudity. You don't have to be. In Game of Thrones, it's like bleep, 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 then you
Game of
bleep.
Thrones is everything.
It's called. You're like, I
2
love
minutes
it.
of story.
Well, the thing is though, like
Winter
Game of Thrones,
finally came
it's a
into
TV
TV
show, and it looks real. It looks really good for a TV show. The dragons look good too, so they could totally do that. That'd be so cool.
To be fair though, the budget for the new season, since it's got so much dragon, it's like a full blockbuster movie.
Wow.
I don't know. It's something like
Did you know that what's his name? George R. R. Martin?
Yeah,
He has an art gallery / adult
I think
fun
that's-
house here in New Mexico in Santa Fe.
Flash Adult Funhouse.
Yeah, it's like
It's like a jungle gym for adults.
Do you know what an adult fun house is?
I do know.
Okay.
it's
That's
you
called
know,
Meow.
like it's called Meow Wolf, and he actually lives here in New Mexico.
Wait, I took adult
Yeah.
fun house the wrong way. Never mind.
No, well, it's like
Raging John.
Okay, which adult is it? Is it the
It's like adult
it's
coloring
the
books. It's not
kind
yeah.
of child
It's not
where
no,
you
adult-
don't play around
adult
with
coloring
black
book would
lights.
imply the adult I'm
Yeah.
thinking of?
It's not the
But-
inappropriate adult.
Okay.
But if you have time, check that out. Or if you have the means, check that out.
I
And
don't-
you're a fan.
I'm like,
then-
you see the brothel? What the heck?
Oh my gosh, no. Well, I mean, it is for art.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
right,
know
that's
what?
right.
Some infeasible.
I mean, living
I've
in
not
Mexico.
been there, but people rave about it.
It's called Central.
Oh.
Okay.
That's so
Like,
sad.
and you're totally close though. Is there anything else?
Before we close, we still have
Last
time.
topic? Oh, okay. I thought that was our last topic.
No, that is our last topic, but you know, it's like we still have
we have
Q&A.
Q&A, but I just wanted to ask you, are there any like differences in the reading that you would like to share with me?
Okay, yeah. So
I shall have a
there's-
beer.
okay, so to clarify, the skeleton of the stories are going to remain pretty much the same. However, the backstories of the characters are going, with the exception of Mataris and Lyrush, they're all going to be very different. Like Eric, Tybalt, and
Do I
Hannah are
get to
still
be
going to
rated
be.
by platforms?
What's up?
Do I get to be rated by platforms?
No.
Platforms.
Actually, sorry, no. Paul, they're also going to be very similar to the
The thing I want to be rated by platforms.
Platypus.
Someday you will.
Oh my goodness. No, like so, like Eric, Tybalt, and Hannah, they're still gonna be the heirs to the throne of Malvin, but like I can't say too much without getting spoiled.
I like Hannah a lot more.
That's because I told you that if I could have any actress play her, it would be Jennifer Lawrence.
Just imagine like an infuriated
Really?
Jennifer Lawrence
Yeah.
coming down the hall all mad. That's how I picture her in one
totally
scene.
see her.
But
And
she's
I like-
not enough like the actual person, though.
No,
Like,
it doesn't matter.
Jennifer
She's
Lawrence
a
is a
character.
very talented actress.
She has won an Oscar. So
I don't
No,
But
but
like
like,
they don't
but
like.
like I picture that kind of staff, and I'm a little more excited. Hannah's character I did not like in the original book. I wasn't crazy about her, but I'm really like I don't know. She was just too much of a prima donna for me. I don't know.
Have you met Heaven?
But no, I'm not
She
going to
watches.
spend time.
No.
Okay.
That is yet to be seen.
I'm sure she's
I
very
don't
nice.
even
I'm
think
not
I've
going to
watched
spend any
these.
time with it.
We should get back in Kelly's one. Yeah, be like, you got your favorite song.
But no, I'm very excited. I like
Well, tell them to
where
watch
a lot
this
of the
one.
characters are going in the reboot.
Yeah,
And my
everybody's-
character is slightly more tolerable as well.
Yeah, her character's backstory is a massive rewrite.
And
actually.
the new name.
And a new
Wow.
name, yes.
You get your name, who you know?
She's going to be called Rika. It's the same name, just a different language. Because isn't that what one of your friends used to call you when you were a kid?
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, I was Rebecca. I knew Rivka, which is Rebecca in Hebrew, and Rahab, which is Rebecca in Arabic. And like they were both really good friends of mine that I grew up with. But I was called Rivka a little more because I went to a synagogue for a while when I was a kid.
I want to be called Lord Banana Terracotta
I've
Pie.
also had some friends, some
Yeah.
Jewish friends who called that, and I don't know, that one I always just like had more of an emotional attachment to that name, and I thought it would be cool, especially like Rahab. I like it pronounced that way, but everyone says Rahab, and it's kind of like, oh,
Rehab.
I can't handle that. Rehab.
Rehab.
Yeah, so like I don't know, it's like kind of silly, but the mispronunciations on
There's
that
probably
one
rehab
drive
going on
me
with them.
crazy. So I was like, can we do this time?
This might surprise some people. So because I'm rewriting the book series, I'm also going to expand book one to include some of the stuff that was going to happen in book two, including the full reasons as to why Mataris lost his memory, and we'll actually
Especially the
get
bundle of sticks.
yes, and we'll actually get into Adar's backstory a little bit.
See, and then I think it's
That's
like
something.
Adar.
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 Is it Adar or Adar?
I like
I
Adar.
pronounce it both ways.
Is it a door? Is it a door?
I'm a door.
Chris versus a door.
Twice. Round one.
Well, we're doing this at 3, 4.
That's
Wait,
just
tell me
you.
to
It
Oh my
was not
goodness.
very effective.
Firmness versus opening and closing. No.
Or you slam.
No. Oh my god, Chris, figure out how to do that.
Phrasing, John. Oh my goodness. All right.
That's just terrible.
What other differences were there that you want to talk
I'm
about?
trying to think about it. I think honestly, the Taurus is a lot more scary a lot sooner.
Oh yes, that's right. Like if you didn't think he was an a-hole before, he stepped up his game.
Oh my goodness. The descriptions are much better.
And the dialogues.
And the dialogues.
I'm having a lot of fun with the dialogues.
I think there's a really good balance of combat and dialogue now, whereas it was kind of lacking in some areas here and there.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed it, but
I I think in this version
A lot
there
more
was a,
vivid.
I think in this version there was a good amount of combat, but like I had a disproportionate amount of filler and dialogue. That's a big problem.
Yeah, like the battle, like Dragon Ball Z's battle was lasting so long because we are talking a lot in between every punch.
I hadn't even seen Dragon Ball Z at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean those are so far because I mean I've only edited few chapters so far, and I need to go back over them like again and again.
Oh, here's a function that's going to expand the world quite a bit. Humans and dragons are not the only sentient beings anymore. There are four other species. There are 4 other species that will be introduced. I'm not going to talk about them right now, however, but that is something for you guys to look forward to.
Pretty stoked about this part.
That's pretty cool.
This was like a big topic of debate among our little nerdy crowd for a while.
Because like,
What
one of the
features to
he's like, I was like, because like for the longest time I was like, do I want to open up the mess of inviting in other magical creatures or what have you? And I'm like, so I'm having to be really careful with how I do it.
You don't want to go crazy.
Because I don't want to give people too much information to absorb.
They already have too much of the dragon.
That's why I have a guide in the back.
I appreciate the guide, otherwise I'd be very confused. So
Another announcement I have is I was starting to talk about this earlier. I am designing a website for this. I will announce on this podcast when it goes live. I've begun work on it a couple weeks ago. It's going to be a work in progress for a while, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think when it pops up. It will basically be a wiki for the Omega Chronicles. Let's see, what else? What's up? They're quiet. They're quiet today? I think they're more interested in listening than.
we haven't been as busy today. We've actually been
What are you talking about? Mataris versus Ador?
Okay,
John
that
being
was
a platypus?
John being aware platypus? Yeah.
What about a platypus bear, John? Just a bear? That's weird.
Also, another thing about the function between humans and dragons is in this book series I basically just called it metaphysics, but I'm switching it to where it is definitively magic in this in the rewrite. It will be magic, which also opens up a couple of doors for some more new functions that I'm excited about.
Okay. We need to have a talk about that good story in one of our podcasts.
Yes.
Time traveling banana.
I'm thinking we should do it after it's published just because it's copyrighted and I don't want people stealing people's
Yeah,
ideas.
that's very true. That's very true. I haven't thought of that.
Alright, we're gonna open it up to Q&A now.
Yeah.
What else we
Yes,
talk about?
I love you, Aaron. I agree with you completely.
What did Aaron do?
Okay, so he actually asked this question a while ago. By the way, guys, if you posed questions earlier, you guys seen I'm on my phone. I'm taking count of them now. Okay.
We've been mad about that in the
But
past. I'm sorry.
he reposted this question. If you wanted a famous voice actor to voice your characters, who would you choose and why? My personal choice for Light Rock would be Sean Connery, basically because of his connection to Draco from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Okay, but his original question from earlier was, out of this stable, who would voice who
Who would voice you in any anime?
in
If this was made into an anime.
And who would we choose to voice Taro?
Yeah, who would you choose to voice? I mean, like, wouldn't that be kind of like automatically assigned? It's like we're based off of it.
Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, you could technically voice act multiple people. You know, you just do it a little differently.
Yeah. Well, I would probably voice act as Pharratz and Anarchist. They're.
But if you choose a celebrity, who?
Oh, are we talking celebrities or are we talking?
The original question was out of us.
Who would
Who
voice
would
act?
choose? But afterwards, we'll talk about who we want to voice.
Okay. Okay. So.
That's my turn. Dang it, Chris. Okay. So let's just start off with round one.
So. I would voice. Okay. So I would voice. Guitarist definitely. I would be tempted to voice Lyrosh, but I would rather hand him off to someone with a more different, with a
Lighter
different,
tone.
with a lighter tone. No, but I would, however, probably alter my voice and voice act as Eltrus in our second dragon.
So who would which
And
character
as a
would you want to
celebrity,
voice?
who would you have a celebrity?
Okay, so for my character, so let's do it for ourselves and our dragons. All right. So for celebrity to voice act me, that is pretty hard actually. Let me think about that. So for Light Rush, I am gonna be real and say that I would want Todd Habercorn to voice act Light Rush.
Why not Mataris, dude?
No.
Go big or go home.
He's not angry. He doesn't have an angry enough voice.
Todd Haverford needs to be a goofy character.
He needs to be Rahab.
No, he would be Nectar, Sybil's dragon, because he's the one that's always just screwing around. Yes, that's who I would. Todd Haverford would have to be Nectar. Let's see. Okay, for me, that's a really hard one. I would probably have. Okay, I have it between two people right now. So somebody else go. I'm gonna try to finish this up.
Question: what is my character like? I don't remember.
Based off of you.
Okay.
How would you Todd Haverford? Because he has a lighter voice, but he also has.
That's a good tip.
That's how you do it right.
Voice acting.
You act like you're taking it up, and that's. We had this conversation afterwards one time. That's a, I can tell you all the ways of how to make it sound.
I believe
we have to use the mic.
Just to speak for children.
No.
So you need time to.
I need time to go. Yeah, sorry.
For me, I'm gonna go to my go-tos. So either John Krasinski or J.K. Simmons. That's what I would choose. For those of you who don't know who John Krasinski is, he's Jim from Office.
I would pick John.
Yes.
I would pick Jim Krasinski for your character. Okay.
Yeah,
Instead of
Jim
J.K.
Krasinski,
Simmons.
yeah.
Just because I love J.K. Simmons, but if I had to choose someone,
J.K. Simmons. I would have J.K. Simmons voice Eltros,
Yeah.
and I would have Liam Neeson voice Lyra.
Get a grappling thing done. Speaking of
What's the
grappling,
name of Ford?
I always.
You would have her voice act for.
I can see that.
Like, I don't like Ford as a character, but I like her voice actor.
Whoa.
I almost thought for your character would be common voice
I
actor.
didn't know that was fun.
Right now.
Yep, Scotsman. What
Yeah,
Australian?
you know what? Connor's voice actor.
Jana Barney.
Jenna Barney.
Either Jana Barney or whoever voice acts Connor in Fairy Tale. I do like Connor's voice actor. I can set that. Oh, I think the girls are. It's almost time for my bachelorette party. They're calling me about that.
I'll be pretty guy.
Best of Connor.
There's some. Let's see.
Who would you
I'm
pick?
gonna step
Yeah,
out for a
voice your-
second.
So I was just trying to think of generally grappling dragon voices. I reckon Idris Elba.
Dude.
Yeah.
That
would be a good
Idris
one.
Elba is the man. I love that guy so much.
Okay, for Rebecca's character, it'd be Jamie March.
Okay.
Would be the voice actors.
Dude, that's an excellent choice. Idris Elba.
Idris Elba was really good at that.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you
I
see
know.
the
I know
new
how to have
trailer?
voices in
Got, like,
cars.
long hair.
The voice
Yeah.
actor for Grey from Fairy Tale.
Oh, and Soul and
Yeah, he would be a good pick from the cars. If we were doing the live actions,
you know who would be good for Eric? Or Rock?
Roy Mustang.
yes, yes.
Right. And then for Hannah, we have Wendy Marvel. I forget what her name is in real life.
What? Her voice actress?
Yeah,
for
Hannah, like you don't
Yes.
know their face.
When
and
she
you hear them
talks
and you're like, oh,
normally.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because otherwise I was gonna be like, sure.
I only know a couple.
Yeah, like actually, Shermally, yeah. That'd be one.
I'd actually like to throw him another candidate. If I couldn't do John Krasinski, I would do Jamie Bell instead.
Who's he?
He played Griffin in Jumper, and he's been in.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Okay.
Dude, I am so with you, Aaron. I'm with Unquotable all the way. Second would be Madhouse, by the way. They don't know anything about animation.
Except for Studio Ghibli.
Okay,
and
so
Dinosaur.
let me guess.
That's all I know.
So it would be Unquotable, Madhouse, Bones, then I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, those would be the top three in that order. And then Bruce Repeat Productions, would be.
Oh, which animation company did you have?
That's what I just flipping said.
The guys that do Noragami.
That's
Right.
Bones.
Yes.
Bones. Dude, I would go Unquotable.
I love.
Because they have the highest budget.
What have they done?
B, they have done Tales of Vestria. They have done all the fake stuff. They have done anything prettier than A1 Pictures.
Studio Ghibli.
Okay, Unquotable, A1 Pictures, Bones, RT.
I would not have RT do this.
But they're making the anime actually.
They're making another one other than Ruby. Oh wow.
It's gonna be a mess. Yeah, I'm not trying to snack.
I'll stick with Ruby.
But the new season looks pretty. I mean, think it would exactly suit the tone of the show. Is the only thing about it. They would have to do it a little more like.
Yeah,
if they were to go
this would make a great anime.
if they were to go the 3D
Yeah,
animation
okay.
route,
So one time
Live action.
if we were to do live action though, we did come up with the dream cast for that.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Wait, who's our dream cast?
Okay, so for me, I would do the kid that played Ender's game.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a
Yeah.
better.
He's good at playing in trouble.
He's a good actor.
And then for the triplets, it was J-Law as Hannah. It was Chris Evans as Eric, and then yeah, Chris Evans as Eric, and then for Tyler Tibble, it was who was it again? Chris Pratt. That's it. Chris Pratt. Yeah.
I don't know. Chris Pratt is a little bit too
No. Chris Pratt was Othniel.
thick to play Tyler. Tyler's kind of strong.
No. Chris Pratt is Othniel. Would be Othniel
Yeah.
because we need someone who's kind of a wise ass.
Tyler. Who's the kid?
And then for him, who did we have? We had someone who was really good.
Me?
Yeah, for you.
I don't remember.
That was really good.
We spent so much time on this.
We
I can't even written it down.
we should have. Who was your?
You're so sad.
I don't remember everything.
And live action for you would be
You came
CGI.
up with one.
Yeah,
I
I could just stick with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Well,
just
then
me.
why
Why not?
Fuente de Pablo. That's right. Fuente de Pablo.
Who's Foto de Pablo?
She's Viva and CIS.
She was very similar to Wonder Woman.
If she was a little younger, or the woman who played the lady who plays Wonder Woman, she's really cool.
Oh, Gal
I'm
Gadot.
not that cool, but
Yeah, she is.
I'm
She's awesome.
definitely not that cool. She'd be a cool character.
Slight spoiler: Reef does get to be that cool.
Yay! Apparently we're weird audio. Whoa, weird audio. Yeah, Last Robin, that's what you get. Not depending.
Yep. We're using our backup mic because the other one wasn't working so good.
Yeah, we'll totally get it figured out.
Okay, so a question from Will Underwood via Twitter. And I'll actually let's for those of us that know about this, I think will apply to each of us. If Mataris was in the world of Pokemon, what would his team of 6 be? Okay, so I would have I really like the Sinnoh starters. Infernape, Torterra, and Empoleon.
Oh, did you play Pokemon that today?
Not a lot actually. I was one of those freaks in nature.
And
If I
then-
would choose a team of 6, though, there's 6 Psyducks.
Yes.
No, dude, 6 Magikarp with Splash.
Good. Okay, so those three, and then let's see. I used to have this figured out. Let's see. For an electric type, I would want Luxray. You remember which one that was, right? That one was right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then
I'm reading the thing.
I like Luxray, and then let's see. It was I had a steel type in mind. No, wait, not steel. No, because I already have it pulled on.
Banana Psyduck. It's definitely Psyduck. Psyduck, yeah. Psyduck, yeah.
I would want an Espeon.
I
Psyduck.
knew
You
it.
said Psyduck.
I was about to call that one.
Yeah, I heard Psyduck.
Let's see, 6th one.
Do you think it's another Psyduck named Clive?
You gotta have an easy on your team.
Every time a friend of mine got a Psyduck, I would force them to name it Japan.
Too bad, man.
John, when I had Pokemon Go, Jonathan would name all of them. It was wonderful. That was the best
Yep.
part of going through and seeing all the names that John gave them when I had my phone.
Yeah, I was just like, what stupid name can I come up with?
Oh, they're great.
And then let's see. That's right. It's
6 shiny Psyduck.
I would have Garchomp as my dragon type. That's right, Dragonite, because I already have a dragon.
Not Talon?
Ooh, wait. No, you're right.
Or a Reshiram? You don't want a flaming chicken?
That sounds delicious with the Psyduck.
Yeah. Flaming chicken.
No, it would be Salamence as the final type.
Nah.
Like,
He's a flaming chicken.
Yes, that would be my team of 6. 3 Sinnoh starters, an Espeon, a Luxray, and a Salamence. It takes a while to come up with a good team. Let's see. Do we have any other questions via the channel, Bill?
Nope, the Last Robin finally joined.
Yeah, sure.
a meme maker.
Our
We have a
new,
name like that?
yeah, You need
Yeah,
to
because they
thumbnail.
haven't.
Yeah, do you notice how it has the bead on like all our pages? Or like thumbnail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an inside joke from
So-
our very first podcast. It was really good ago.
So on
Oh yeah, that.
Every
because
time.
everybody knows it at
Yeah.
this point. So what happened was the first time, every time we wanted to put up an image, we would have to, a bee would pop up first. And then the image would come out like 30 seconds later. So there's just a
But
bee
we were
sitting there
having it.
for like 30 seconds.
We didn't know how to work the Wirecast very
Are you
well.
talking about the letter B?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would be
let's
like
see.
a blue screen with the letter B on it. And that was showing up instead of our images. Every time we were like, oh, you'll see in the image, blah, blah, blah.
I remember
This
watching some
character.
at soon. I'm like, why is there?
And so, like, that was the very first one, and he took the B and put it on all of our pages.
Oh yeah. Sounds like a running gag.
I haven't finished Pokemon Sun yet, but I plan to do it eventually. And also this weekend, I'm going to be out of town and I'm not going to be on my electronics. Because I'm going to be newlywed.
We're not allowed to use, we made a rule, we're not going to, aside from listening to music, we're not using our phones during honeymoon, except for music.
Yeah, I can't use my phone while I'm on the
That's something I wanted to say real quick. I had planned to release several chapters as a kind of farewell present to you guys before I went on the honeymoon. The wedding stuff has been keeping us really busy, and I've had a really bad case of writer's block for the last few weeks. I have not gotten much done, so for that, I'm really sorry, guys. Hopefully, like after all the craziness was down and everything, I'll be able to get back to what I've been doing, like how I was before. But so especially to my Patreon donors, I'm really sorry about this. I do have the first chapter for the story that I promised you guys when I set up the poll, and I will be releasing that later. So I do have that for you guys. So I'm not leaving you completely leaving. I don't want you guys to feel like you've wasted your money.
Well, we brought you an Australian, I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah.
pretty good money.
That's pretty good.
No, he paid his own.
Yeah,
He's
he paid
awesome
his own.
like that. He texted me this morning. He's like, if you're not up yet, don't worry about it. I'll just take a taxi over. I'm like, you flew halfway across the country. I can roll out of bed and drive 30 minutes to the airport.
Well, there's so few
what time did you get in?
taxis town. They would call it
What time did you get in this morning? And you thought you went to be up?
Well, I wasn't quite sure
Or about the
time.
time?
Yeah, there's like, it's not even worth it taking.
Then again, I had a friend sleep until 2:30. He's not here to do that.
Been there, done that.
Gosh.
Max, that's at you.
Robin, Gamer Inspector, you have to let me know how this fight goes. We've got two of my fans. They're going to duel each other on Pokemon.
Oh, yay! Good enough for
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What else do we need to talk about?
So like the anime thing, is it actually even? It's technically like feasible, like to actually do an anime. Like Joseph's book technically sells enough. The people that are making
I
Indigo,
own the copyrights to this, so if someone approaches me, it's up to my negotiation.
you
whether or
could
not I have
technically pitch it to the Indigo United people. They're running a school to actually teach people how to make anime.
Oh, cool.
And
Well, I thought they just went in and talked to the
You heard of
no,
Castlevania?
Okay.
That's an anime on.
Well, I mean, we can discuss
Wait,
this later because
Castlevania.
people
Yeah.
they also
I have heard about that.
it just depends on what they want to do.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will. That's something we can discuss a little more later, for sure.
And we also, I don't know if we talked about this last time or not, but our first art piece that was commissioned was delivered successfully along with the signature book. So thanks again to our friend Giratina Origin, as he's known by on the YouTube. He sent a message saying that he was very happy with the artwork. He actually plans to frame it, and later on I will be putting it up on I'll be putting the image up on Patreon so you guys can take a look and see what Rebecca was able to do.
And Bruni, I was banned from using oil paint this week because I'm a mess, and when I paint, I get paint from head to toe and can't get it off. And I'm supposed to be wearing a dress that's white, and everyone told me to stop painting. It'll get done someday, buddy. I'm really
Aaron, are
sorry.
you talking
I
about-
promise it'll get done.
I think Aaron was asking about Castlevania.
Was he asking like Castlevania?
Oh no, I just brought that up.
Yeah,
Because,
Castlevania.
if you ever want to make
We talked about a few, but Chris was talking about Castlevania, and the one we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast was Indigo Ignited. Yeah. And again, after we're done with this podcast here, you guys really should check it out.
It'll be really cool.
really
And
cool.
so this is, I mean, I know, there's more questions, but which we're going to be kind of wrapping up soon. I've said it kind of before, I'm not going to be around too much for the next few months because my little brother has his last football season in high school, and football is a huge deal in my family, so I'll be stoned if I don't show up to games. So I don't know how often I'll be able to come on the podcast, but I'll do my best.
Like,
I love you guys.
familiar
I will possibly.
Still debate.
We'll see how it goes. But anyway, I'd love to offer
maybe we'll just
creative
have
input. Talk to me on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm pretty great.
Or we'll kidnap Tom for that.
So, alright.
We'll just kidnap Tom.
Do we have any other
There you
questions?
go. Yeah,
Any
yeah,
other
Marty.
comments?
I think that's it. Do you guys have anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Once you look at it, would totally
Tell them
track
to
what
change
you
the
guys do, so
tag.
I
They're really cute chemical.
What's the chemical?
It's like this protein called bromelain, which degrades other proteins. So when you eat a pineapple, it eats you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother was talking
Like,
about
that's
it.
Is that why you like feel like you cut your tongue after you
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's scary. Like, my brother is a dental assistant, and he gets, like, because he goes with pineapples, he's, like, afraid of pineapples.
If you have
pineapple.
if you have bad enamel, you're not supposed to be fine. Yeah. You hurt a lot.
Like we
I
actually
have a question. Would you ever consider having somebody adapt this into a comic book or graphic novel?
That is also a fun.
No, we've
Actually,
discussed it.
I have for those of you that have seen the Omega Chronicles Facebook page, there's actually pieces of artwork like that.
Oh, cool.
Where
Yeah.
my friend Maria, a few years back, she did a fan art of when she did this little chibi scene of Mataris and Othniel meeting, and then they kind of just get into it.
Nice.
And it's like chibi style, and like everybody just starts fighting everybody. It's just this silly little comic
it
strip.
shall be called
I'll
Omega Chief.
I will.
We also have a friend.
I'll see if I can put that up on Patreon. Actually, you guys should check that out. There's a link in the description below. You guys can check it out.
Our friend Becca, who I don't know if you saw her on it.
She appeared on Noragami.
Yeah, she is a very good artist.
Yes.
She's writing her own graphic novel right now.
Robin's making a meme.
We have discussed, doing, collaborate. She and I have discussed collaborating on artwork and possibly, because I feel like it's not my strength because I'm not consistent enough with my character drawings yet. But she's really good with that. But we've kind of, bounced some ideas around. So if you guys have any, suggestions, then let us know too. Because it's not going to be something that can happen for a while, but that's a project that I'd love to start eventually.
Alrighty, I think that's everything for this week. So thanks for joining us, even though it's been in a regular time. Thank you very much, Tom, for coming all the way out here. Thank you, Chris, for joining us. And thank you all for joining us. And the next time we see you, we're going to be Mr. and Mrs. Kram. So, how about that?
So weird.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one.